One study finding that out of billions of votes cast, only 31 cases could be plausibly described as voter impersonation fraud.
Claims of voting fraud continue to surface after the results of the presidential election. President Trump has requested a recount in several states that went from red to blue, securing the win for President-elect Joe Biden. But tonight we're digging into the question, just how common and real is voter fraud? 25 News reporter Leah McNeil is here with more. Leah?
Voter fraud isn't as common as you would think. This according to Dr. Jeffrey Dixon, professor of political science at A&M Central Texas. But after an incident that led to the arrest of a social worker in Limestone County, now charged with 134 counts of voter fraud, some people aren't too sure. If it can happen in Central Texas, then it can happen anywhere, right? Some people taking to our Facebook comments in disapproval of the election result and concerns of voting fraud. Kelly Reagan Bruner facing up to 10 years in prison after allegedly committing election fraud in Limestone County. The county's election administrator says Bruner did not get past the voter registration checks.
They were caught at the time of submission, the application. These were applications to register to vote. They were not applications for ballot by mail. They were specifically applications to register to vote.
After working with elections for over a decade, Jennifer Souther tells me election officials are trained to spot any discrepancies, no matter the form of voting.
The voter turnout, high or low, doesn't change the processes. So it is still our responsibility to watch out for irregularities.
But if we look at the bigger picture,
just from your knowledge and the research that you have done, have you seen any evidence of voter fraud on a large scale with this election?
No.
Dr. Dixon explains voting by absentee ballot is the most susceptible to voting fraud. However, there are some dead giveaways that hint at it on a larger scale.
Voter fraud, then what we should see is that in the strongholds of the winning party, there's a much higher turnout rate than usual. That would be indicative of ballot stuffing. We don't see that so far.
And as far as a recount is concerned, Dixon says this request is normal, adding most states do have an automatic recount rule if the margin of votes falls within a certain parameter.
They are an ordinary part of the process, designed to make sure that we haven't made mistakes.
A senior research analyst at fairvote.org said in the 5,778 statewide elections over the last 20 years, there have been 31 completed statewide recounts that overturned the outcome of the challenged races, reporting the margin of victory was less than 0.05%. For Now Live in Killeen, Leah McNeil, 25 News.
Leah, thank you. Now, 42 states plus the District of Columbia allow candidates or voters to actually request a recount. However, a lot of those require a fee for the requesting party, which can be upwards of $1 million.